Good morning, everyone, and happy Halloween. It's Eric with His&Hers HHQ. I've got the 37 Ford pickup 2-in-1 from Revell, and I know everybody out there, or quite a few of you, might have or might be participating in a Halloween group build. I've been kind of doing a lot of my own, as I know you know. I've done quite a few. However, what my goal is I wanted to add to my Creatures of the Road. Now, this here, they're all based off of the Saturday Night Creature features I grew up with back in the 80s. And I'm talking the Boris Karloff and Bela Lugosi, the Wolfman and Frankenstein, Dracula, those creatures. And as we all know, as you can see from these pictures, these quick shots, I've already got the Wolfman, I've already got Frankenstein's monster, and I've got Dracula's hearse. Well, I'm going to do another Creature of the Road, this one for Halloween. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I'm using this, the 37 Ford 2-in-1 from Revell. That is going to be my base kit. So here in a moment, we're going to get turned around. We're going to do a really epic build and then a final. So stay tuned. Okay, so that's it. It's a little piecemeal, but here in a moment we'll get turned around and see what I did. It was some crazy modifications, and again, I started with this Revell 37 Ford pickup. I absolutely love the kit, and I really want to get another one. It's in 1/25th scale. Let's see what I can come up with. Maybe something factory fresh. I don't know. But if you're new to the channel, several years ago, I started doing what I call Creatures of the Road. And it's only fitting with, I'm thinking today being Halloween. Right? That's when we want this released.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking with today being Halloween, it only fitting that I add another creature to my Creatures of the Road. You'll have to go back, but I did Dracula's Hearse. I actually did that as part of a group build, under 1,000 sub group build. I did the Wolfman, a representation of the Wolfman. And of course, if I remember correctly, it all started with Frankenstein's monster. And that one was it was a van with a pickup bed. And I was like, well, this is kind of like a creature kind of thing. And well, it just grew from there. Kind of the early 80s Saturday night creature features that I used to enjoy with my mother, the Lon Chaney and Bela Lugosi creatures, those original creatures from Universal. I think it's Universal. Anyway, so I've got those three, and I really wanted to get I'm going to be doing the Invisible Man. That one's going to be a fun, tricky build. I'm working out the logistics on that one. The Mummy, and of course the creature from the Black Lagoon. Well, I took one look at this 37 Ford, and I pictured the creature from the Black Lagoon. So, without further ado, we'll get turned around and get a look at what I did. Well, from the video and what it turned out to be. Stick around. And here we are. This here's just been one of those really fun builds. I've got to hand it to Milliput because that 2-part putty, it has been really fun to work with on a lot of these builds that I've done. What I went for was the vehicle itself is representing the creature, and like the other builds, there will be something that the creature was a part of but has escaped. For the Wolfman, it was a broken open cage. For Dracula, it was a open casket. And for Frankenstein's monster, it was, well, the medical bed that the straps were loose on. With this case, of course, it's a whole lot of scratch building. The hood is removable. I haven't done a whole lot in the way of detail, as in running wires or anything. I didn't know if I would have the time to do so, but the whole point here was the vehicle represents the creature in some way, shape, or form. So I gave it the coloration that I chose from inspiration that's really like off, I guess maybe AI generated image of the creature, and that's where I drew a lot of the inspiration. So it's kind of the old school 30s, 40s, 50s creature, but no. And of course here the creature has escaped. I did a 2-part resin, turned out darker than I wanted green wise, but it was still, my first time actually messing with the resin, so it was fun. The creature burst out of the fish tank, and it's just been one of those things. My daughter, when I originally had it done, was taking a look at the fish tank and going, that is just too shiny, too new, except for the broken glass part. You need to do something about that, and like make it grimy or dirty or something. So I went and made it grimy to give it the sense that it came from, well, the depths of a lagoon, the grimy nastiness. So yeah, it was fun coming up with it. Technically speaking, you wouldn't drive this, although inherently speaking, it looks like the creature possessed the truck. Overall, it was fun. I went with the Revell 37 Ford is a 2-in-1, or, well, yeah, it says it's 2-in-1. You have the option of being able to lower the rear end with the front end and give it more of that sporty lowered look. Well, I left the rear end as stock and lowered the front end to give it a little more rakish angle, and I think that actually suits the build really well. The paint job itself, what is not airbrush. I mean, a lot of it looks like it could be airbrush. I don't know how zoomed in my son's got the camera. It looks like it could be airbrush, but what it is just really watered down paints. I primed it. It's what I call contradictory painting. I primed it all black and then spritzing water and using watered down colors and paints. I started with the darker greens and worked my way out, leaving black patches, but you've got multi hues of green in there, so creating a mottled look, and it goes with the picture. If I think about it, I'll have my son put a reference photo up so you can see it. But overall, it's that paint job is legitimately just watered down cheap acrylics over a primer and hit with a gloss clear to present the wet look. It's not an even coat. I didn't go for a full even coat because I didn't want it to look like that. I like water pools or settles in certain areas and it drips away from others. So some spots might be a little shinier than others. And that's exactly what I was going for look-wise. I still have a lot of work to do, a lot of teaching myself to do, dealing with the milliput. But I found using the tools I have on hand and a little bit of imagination and rolling it out, I was able to give it all the right folds and whatnot. Sure, the teeth are a little different than the teeth in the picture, but it's just a representation of the creature. The gills were achieved by rolling up the milliput, laying down a strip, and then wetting my fingers with water and just slowly pulling up until I got the look I was going for, especially here in the gills, because all of the pictures, all the gills aren't perfect. So that's what I was going for as I was doing that. Like it's not even, it's not perfect, and that's exactly the look I was going for. So overall, this here's my Halloween build. I did notice that there's actually a group build going on, and everybody's building the 37 Ford pickup from Revell, and I thought that was funny that I wasn't officially taking part in that, but here I was. And again, it's just one more creature of the road. So now I have 4 of them. If I remember correctly, there's a total of 7. So I have the Invisible Man, the Mummy. Oh, I'll think of the other one. It might be the Bride of Frankenstein that I'm thinking about. But either way, I mean, they're all the original creatures, and that's what I'm going for. Once I have all the creatures done, I've got a diorama in mind. I'm going to set them up where, because all the creatures have gotten away, that's key. all the creatures have gotten away from the vehicles. I want to set the vehicles up in a diorama with the intention of creating an old school drive-in theater, and all the vehicles will be parked in a row with a screen. I've had ideas thrown at me, computer screen and stuff being done up in such a way that it would look like the old school drive-in theaters. Do a little bit of forced perspective, and the idea would be to then have all of the creatures appear on screen. That would be the point. They've gotten away from the vehicles, these vehicles that represent them, they've gotten away, and they're on the big screen. So yeah, this here is just been one of those really fun experiences, added a little more skill set. I created a tool using one of the, here we go. I created this little tool using a piece of sprue from this kit and gave it kind of that horseshoe look to create the scale look overall for, well, scales. And you notice I didn't do the scales over the whole truck. It was just the idea of texture. Like there's a bit of texture here and there. That is on purpose because it's not necessarily just smooth. There is texture along with the scales. So yeah, anyway, that little fashion tool was fun to use and helped create exactly, I think, what I was looking for. So I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I hope you all enjoy the final result. I'm Eric with His&Hers HHQ. If you haven't yet, head on over to Facebook and follow us at His&Hers Hobby Headquarters. Take a moment, like, subscribe, share the content, share the love of scale model building. It truly is a medium limited only by your imagination. You build for you. And as always, take a moment, comment below. The comments just help the algorithm. It helps spread the videos, and it just really gets the work out there. It's not just me, it's on everybody's, all of us within the YouTube modeling community. It really gets our content out there. And this here is definitely a hobby worth passing on. I'm Eric. Have a good day.